Hello my friends, welcome to another video. It's already November 3rd today, I think, or the 4th, something like that. The riding season here in Sweden is slowly coming to an end. As you see, it's a really grey, ugly day today. The leaves on the trees are still there, mostly yellow, but most trees have lost their leaves already. So for sure, the riding season is now coming to an end. However, there is some interesting news and some cool development in the last 2 weeks. When I was in Norway this summer, I went down quite a steep road. Well, it didn't start that steep. Gravel road in the forest, like a logging road. There was a geocache on the bottom. It was a dead end, so I would have needed to go the same way back. And the further I came, the rougher it got. Less gravel, more earth, lots of water, grass in the middle, and then even deep, I think you call it ruts, tire tracks from a tractor or something like that. Getting more and more steep. Unfortunately, halfway down, I decided, wait a moment, will I ever get that hill up again with the big 901 Norden with those tires I had on it? The Heidenau K60 with the strip in the middle. So not really the perfect tire for terrain like that, or for ground like that. So I stopped, reconsidered, and thought, no, this is not going to work out. This is going to be a hell to get out here again. I need to turn around the bike. And turning around that heavy 901, 225, 30 kilos, something like that, luggage on it, okay, I could have taken that off. That was quite, I got quite sweaty from that. I took the jacket off and the helmet and then considered, how do I do that? And finally I had turned the bike around, which is not easy on a steep incline, when it's slippy, when it's wet, and when the path is just as wide as the motorcycle is long. So again, this made me think about, is such a heavy bike the right thing for me and the kind of riding I'm doing? So you guess what happened? Just 2 weeks ago, I swapped bikes. I said goodbye to the heavy 901. Unfortunately, it was a great all-road touring bike, no question about that. Great reach, ergonomics, fantastic, really nice to ride. But in situations like that, hard to handle for me, definitely. I'm not the tallest guy. My jeans I'm buying in 30-inch, so I've always got the problem to get my feet down. Now you say, okay, you can learn that, but there are situations when you need to do that. So I decided it's time for another bike. There it is, let me show you. Yes, I bought myself a Husqvarna 701 Enduro. Much lighter bike, fantastic engine, I have to say. This one-cylinder engine, this LC4 is by today's standards, compared to what a one-cylinder did maybe 20 years ago, so much more refined and so incredibly powerful with 74 horsepower. Also, I really like that the bike has some electronics. I'm actually a fan of that, like off-road ABS. I really enjoyed it, this extra safety that it gives you. And the spin, I don't know if I really need that, but it's quite an advanced bike. It's a 2022, it's not entirely new, so it had 8,000 kilometers on it when I bought it 2 weeks ago. And it came already with quite a few nice extras. For me, as I said, who is not the longest guy, most important, it has the original factory lowering kit. So with that lowering kit, the seat height is coming down 4 centimeters. It's different springs in the fork, it's a different spring in the back, some small stuff, and it's also a shorter side stand, of course, because otherwise the bike would stand too upright. That is one thing. Then it has the AXP, I think it's called, the company, French company, skid plate. What else? Heated grips, quite nice here in the Nordics when it gets cold and when you ride like 3 months under really cold circumstances, under cold conditions. Heated grips are really nice to have, so that has already been installed. But as you might see already, I have done a few modifications already. So the one thing I have added here are those little crash bars. And I guess they will prove very useful if I lay down the bike. Actually, the previous owner had once crashed or laid down the bike because the skid plate here was broken. So I needed to fix that. You see there's some little metal clamp which I have there, but I welded it also. It's polyethylene, so you cannot glue it. You need to hot weld it basically with a hot air gun. And also the mounting point here for the radiator was a little bit bent. So this should be now avoided if I have those crash bars. The next thing I've done is giving it better light. Come on, KTM Husqvarna, why are you still selling bikes today with H4 lamps? That is totally outdated. So I got this nice one here from the internet. It's the same model available from different suppliers, and you see it has this nice daylight riding light, and of course low beam and high beam. I have not tried it yet in the dark. I need to do that later. And then, of course, most important and most obvious, this little, I don't know if I want to call it a rally tower, GPS holder and front screen made by the British company Adventure Spec. Very nice and very solid. The GPS is perfectly positioned now. It mounts here to the upper fork bridge with longer screws, some distances, and then this whole metal bar that goes around is very solid. I've been riding a little bit, as you see here, this gravel road. No shaking at all, fantastic. And it's gonna give me a little bit of wind protection, hopefully. If you wonder what that is a screen pen, which I can use if I have gloves on and want to do something on my GPS, because the gloves are sometimes simply too thick to find the right key there. So that's why I have that one here mounted with a little paper clip, basically. Then, of course, the original KTM heated grips, as I mentioned, and I put in some other nicer, lighter mirrors. I had the double take mirrors on the Norden, but these are really clumsy somehow. Also, the ball down there had been already squeezed together, so I bought that one here quite cheap. I have a link here, so hopefully if I crash, they will bend upwards at least. Then also, for the same reason, those folding levers here for the clutch and for the brake, which fold upwards in case you lay the bike down. That's actually quite nice. And I gave it another fuel filler already, which is Chinese made. They don't have too much choice. The American mates are twice the price actually. So I'm not willing to pay that for a little aluminium piece. The reason behind that is that it has a higher edge actually here, and it will prevent dirt from getting in there. So you see, if you open it up, it's very unlikely that there's any dirt coming in. Of course, you need to clean up maybe the lock here a little bit. So that is one add-on I did. It came already with the Ramos exhaust. It's not for me so important to have that sound. It sounds really nice, yes it does, but it's more the heat. So normally it's now hand warm. I've been standing here for like 15 minutes, but if you have the original exhaust end can mounted, it gets so hot that you will burn yourself, you will burn your clothes, you will burn bags and straps and stuff like that. So that one, I think it needs to come off on the 690 and then the 701. So you still see the bike has a very nice slim silhouette. I really like that. Even that the seat height is quite a bit higher than the Norden, I get as well, I would say, down with 1 foot, which I'm used to, as I was with the Norden, which has a lower seat height. What I am still waiting for now is actually the rear luggage system. There is one also by Adventure Spec, which is basically a big aluminium plate that goes all the way down from these 2 mounting points here down to foot peg. So you have some reinforcement here. Perfect for my Moscow Moto R80 Reckless luggage system. These are in production. We have already available the ones for the 690 and for the basically identical Gas 700 Enduro. But there is a difference with the 701, which has a different tank. So I guess it's simply these mounting points here, which are different most likely. Quite a shame. Talking about the tank, 13 liters is not really that much. I'm expecting a fuel consumption of about 4 liters per 100 kilometers. So that should give me somewhere around 300 kilometers. This is not really sufficient, and you might know there are different solutions like an underseat tank made by Rade Garage. that tank requires you to remove the original airbox and put in a smaller filter, which should work with the older bikes, but I am skeptical about the Euro 5 bikes, because these run already so lean that you really don't want to mess around even more with the fuel air mix. So I have decided against that. Instead, a good friend of mine is sewing me some pouches, and I will put two 2-liter canisters here on the front using the crash bar as a mounting point and then just some straps over. So I will carry, if necessary, another 4 liters of fuel, so that's another 100 kilometers. So I should be able to do somewhere 350 to 400 kilometers, hopefully. Well, sadly this feels like the totally wrong time to change the motorcycle now in November, when snow is just a few weeks ahead. At my countryside place up in the north, 300 kilometers north, there are already 25 centimeters, and it's going to happen anytime here now also if it gets colder. But it was a good chance to get one with those extras I wanted, mainly those lowering kit, which makes life for shorter people like me quite a bit easier. Even when then luggage comes on it and you have another 20, 25 kilos, maybe 20 kilos luggage on it, it's much nicer if I can get at least 1 foot safely down. So let me know what are your experiences. Do you have any with the 701 Enduro? Anything I need to know? Anything, other tips of stuff I should change? Anything you have experienced, reliability or problems or whatever, let me know down in the comments. I'll try to answer them if you have any questions. So have a nice autumn, have a great winter, and probably then see you next year with the next motorcycle video. And I think I need to get going. It starts raining again here. Horrible weather. Bye.